How is it going, everybody? And welcome back to another review for My Hero Academia, chapter 181, For Someone Else's Sake. And I just want to preface this right off the bat. I just got done watching episode 4 of season 3, Deku versus Muscular. Oh my god, that was such a good episode. The fight just escalated. Bones did such a wonderful job, so my live reaction review will be up later on the channel. But it's nice having a double feature this week on a Saturday, going from a My Hero episode and then going into a My Hero chapter. Chapter 181 basically delivers upon us the aftermath of the conclusion of the Deku versus Gentle fight we had last week, allowing us to see what's going to happen to Gentle and Labrava, whether or not Deku was in fact going to make it back for the performance. He actually does make it back, but ending it off this chapter with just Eri smiling back at Deku. I love that final double spread page because you have Bakugo on the drums basically saying, "Let's fucking go," and he slams on the cymbals, and you see Deku looking into the crowd, and he spots Eri, and she smiles. He did all of this for her, to fight back against Gentle and Labrava, to make sure that the Culture Festival went off without a hitch, all for the sake of someone else. So that way, Eri could smile. Beautiful way to end this chapter, but overall, it still was a very simple chapter. I feel like it wasn't too complex. It was very straightforward. It gave us the aftermath. It showed us Deku getting back to the festival, and we ended off with Eri smiling. Great overall chapter. So guys, let's talk about this chapter because we immediately pick up on the cliffhanger of last chapter where Gentle and Labrava are getting surrounded by Hound Dog and the clones of Ectoplasm. And as we know with the last couple chapters, Hound Dog picked up the scent of some intruders on the outskirts, and he needed to go check it out to make sure that there was no cause for alarm, there was no emergency that might end up causing the Culture Festival to be suspended. But once they run into Gentle and Labrava, they determine there is no threat, the Culture Festival is fine, and they let all the security know the Culture Festival can continue as is. But Gentle and Labrava are getting arrested in this chapter and are about to be taken to the police station. But I love what Gentle is doing in this chapter for the sake of Labrava because he is throwing away his dreams and ambitions in order to protect Labrava in this situation, trying to make sure she gets the least amount of punishment as possible. Because as he's getting arrested, he's basically saying, do whatever you want with me, but please pardon Labrava. I brainwashed her, I kidnapped her, and I made her do the things that I wanted to do. She was an accomplice. I made her do these things, so please pardon her. Give her the least amount of punishment possible. I really do like that he's doing this because we've seen time and again throughout this arc that Labrava really does care and love about Gentle. But it's nice to know that those feelings are reciprocated the other way around, to have Gentle really caring and he actually loves Labrava. I love getting to see that. And it gets really sad in this chapter when you're just constantly seeing Labrava crying and weeping, basically saying, don't take him away from me. I love you, Gentle. I love you, Gentle. She is saying that time and time again throughout this chapter. And you can view this in the literal sense, like she's confessing her love to Gentle. But I kind of view this as her desperately trying to activate her quirk because she's already activated today. And due to her restrictions, she can't activate it again to save Gentle in this situation. So I kind of view it as her confessing her love, but also trying to desperately activate her quirk to save Gentle. And when I view it that way, it just makes me really care about these characters, and I really don't want them to get arrested, and I am hoping that we do run into their characters in a future arc down the road for My Hero Academia. But before Gentle and Labrava can get escorted away, we have Deku reappear, and Hound Dog immediately realizes and notices how beat up Deku looks. He looks back over to Gentle and sees how beat up he is, and he just puts two and two together. He's like, okay, I know you two fought. What transpired here? And Deku can't lie in this situation, so he tells Hound Dog, yeah, we had a minor dispute because I found out that they were going to pull a prank on UA, but after our little fight, everything is okay right now. But you can tell that Deku feels mixed about this overall situation because I don't think he views Gentle and Labrava as bad people, as villains. And I am hoping that after meeting and fighting with Gentle and Labrava, hopefully this stays with him going into the future arcs, and maybe when he goes off to fight other villains, he'll actually realize that some of these villains didn't start off as bad people, and that gets reinforced when Gentle gives his final words to Deku, where he tells him, I too was once enrolled in a hero course. I, the gentle criminal, was born out of the despair of hero dropouts. Perhaps it's not my place to say this, but I do hope your feelings can reach others. This is a great way to kind of send off Gentle and Labrava's characters, them recognizing how good of a hero Deku is, but also Deku looking at Gentle and Labrava and realizing that these people aren't really that bad. It's just that the circumstances of the world pushed them to do the things that they needed to do in order to achieve their dreams. So now that Gentle and Labrava are off to the police station, the rest of the chapter is pretty straightforward. We have Deku returning to the start of the fight to find where his supplies were dropped. We go back to the Culture Festival where everyone in Class 1A is wondering where Deku is. It's a race against the clock right now for him to get his supplies and to return back. We see the band getting ready with Denki putting a shirt on an irritated Bakugo. He is a brave man for even getting that close to Bakugo and attempting to put a shirt on his body. But as we get closer and closer to the festival, we see Mirio with Eri, and she's worried because she's like, is Deku going to be dancing during the performance? And eventually we see everyone in the concert hall. It's 1 minute until the performance starts, and they're still wondering, is Deku going to make it? He does eventually make it, but I love the fact that as the curtains are parting, we have one person or a couple people in the crowd chanting Yaoyorozu's name. So that's just funny to me with the fact that some people are chanting Momo's name. I don't know who it is, but it's just a nice touch to add into the ending of this chapter. We see Eri being held up by Mirio, that way she can have a great view of the performance on the stage. And the performance kicks off in typical Bakugo fashion with him slamming on the drum cymbals, screaming, "Let's fucking go." And Eri, looking at the stage, notices that Deku is in the dance squad. Deku notices her in the crowd, and both of them smile. Eri smiles genuinely for the first time. This is what Deku fought for that fight with Gentle, and it's nice to know it actually paid off. And that is the ending of this chapter, ending it off on this very cool double spread page. But now I am very curious to see if next chapter we're actually going to dive into their performance, or if next chapter is just going to pick up after their performance is all said and done. But overall, very simple chapter, very straightforward, but very enjoyable to cap off basically the fight with Gentle and Labrava and to get us into the start of the Culture Festival. Anyway, guys, that is my review on chapter 181 of My Hero Academia, but now I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on this chapter. What were your positives? What were your negatives? And are you excited for the start of the Culture Festival? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, guys. And if you guys want to talk about My Hero Academia outside of YouTube, feel free to follow me on Twitter. A link for that can be found in the description down below. And also be on the lookout for my live reaction and review for episode 4 of season 3 of My Hero Academia. That was a great episode, and I am still hyped even after reading this chapter and coming off of that episode. So definitely look forward to that. But with that being said, guys, until next week when we have chapter 182 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond plus ultra.